Right, this is part 3 of our Royal Mile experience. We're starting here at the Canongate. Obviously we finished up in the last video just there at the World's End, and we're going to make our way down to Parliament and the Palace, and we'll point out some things of interest that are not on the usual guidebook. Okay, first up we've got this shop at Gibbs Close. This was a location for one of the Burke and Hare murders. I won't go into too much details because I want to do a separate video all about them, but this is one of the places where they killed somebody. Right, we're heading over there next. Okay, Pirrie's Close. We've got these art pieces in here. They're quite good. Definitely something that's unique. There's a cat in that one. That's cool. Yeah. There we go, the Pirrie's Close artwork. They went up in 2021 to brighten up an uninteresting space which often suffered from graffiti. There we go. Yeah, so the writing on the wall that you just saw, it explains all of these because there is meaning between all of them. But I have to say, I think this one is probably one of my favourites. It's got shuttlecocks in it, and they are definitely shuttlecocks. It tells you about that on the information. Yeah, I like that. Okay, just the next court along, Chesil's Court. Got something to see in here, if we can find it, hopefully. Hopefully it's still here. I think it was here last time I was here. Yep, it is still here. If we can get a shot of it, it's the Chesil's Court Heart. If we can get a shot of it from here. There we go. There's a little heart-shaped ivy. It needs a bit of a trim, I think, but there, it's there. Okay, we've got Old Playhouse Close next. This led to another theatre, 1747 to 1769. This one was in here, but also just on the ground over here, we've got the location of St John's Cross, I think that's right, which marked the end of the Canongate. Now, I've got a feeling this one's in the wrong place. Good to start the Canongate is up there, but nevertheless, anyway, that's where they've marked the floor. It's strange. I do like this red building, it stands out quite well. I do like that. Right, we're right opposite Moray House, which is where the Act of the Union was signed back in the day. I believe the building that they used is still in here. I'll just see if I can find it. It's kind of like a little, it's almost like a garden shed really, where they signed it. Obviously there's a lot of protests and they had to find somewhere quiet in the grounds to do it. So it's now part of the University of Edinburgh, and there are people wandering around, so I'm okay to be here. I'm hoping there's going to be a plaque to tell us where this treaty was signed, hopefully. Okay, I've just come through this gate, but if you look just above it, there you got a pigeon. And that's not a statue, that's a real pigeon. He's just sitting there, quite happy. I like it. Okay, this is Paterson's Land. So this stands on part of the Moray House garden, which is where the Act of Union 1707 was signed. It's recorded in a mosaic just inside the building. I am not going to get access to that. I've just seen some people entering, they have to swipe a card, and I don't have one of them. So I tell a lie, the door just opened and stood right by it. Here's the mosaic. Cool. Okay, well that was unexpected. Didn't think I was going to get in there. Who knows, maybe I shouldn't have done. Right, I've got a feeling that the building where it was actually signed is going to be behind that building. And I can't access it from this side, so maybe leave that one. And there we go, another always look up moment. There we go, liking that. Okay, I think I'm just going to give it another couple of minutes looking around this area for this building, and then we'll head back to Royal Mile and finish this off. Okay, we try the other side of the building. Again, I have just walked in unimposed, but I don't think I should be here. This is nice though, I like this courtyard. Okay, just at the side of the building. It may be that building directly opposite. That one. I'm not 100% certain, but I'm not going to look any further than this. Okay, well now that side mission is over, we'll get back to the Royal Mile and finishing this one off. Still a few things to see. Okay, this building opposite is unlikely to be in your guidebook. This was a brothel known locally as the Cock and Trumpet, of all things. Make of that what you will. One of its customers, if that's the right word, was Robert Louis Stevenson. Different times. Okay, the Museum of Edinburgh right next door. They've got some Greyfriars Bobby things in there. They've got his collar and his bowl, which you can see. I think there might be part of the old Netherbow port in their garden as well. I'm going to go and have a look at that in a minute and see if there is. But first of all, I'm going to go to Bakehouse Close, just opposite there. Okay, Bakehouse Close. As you can see, lots of people coming to photograph this one because it was used in a TV show. I believe it was Outlander. I may have to check that fact later on. But yeah, yeah, famous on TV. Okay, let's go into the museum, see if we can find these stones. Okay, yes, so there are some stones from the Netherbow port here, which we saw earlier on, well, the previous video, but yeah, here we go. A little piece of it left. Right, they've got some other stones and things of interest in here, but this is probably one of the more notable ones. The plaque saying Arthur Conan Doyle was born here. Well, he wasn't born here because this originally stood at York Place on a building that's now been demolished. There we go. Okay, Okai the Moo. Yeah, not really a fan of that name, but Dunbar's Close I am a fan of, so let's go in there. Okay, so this is Dunbar's Close Garden. A real hidden gem, this one. Little quiet place you can come and have a sit. And it's well maintained as well, as you can see. Yeah, there's somebody maintaining it as we speak. Bit of a puddle, but that's okay. It is always so quiet in here, and it is fairly, well, I'd say it's well known. People do know about it, but yeah. So we've got a couple of sections of just gardens just on the Royal Mile, completely secluded. You come bring a coffee, obviously clean up after yourselves, but yeah, Dunbar's Close, it's lovely. Okay, I'm at Brown's Close now. We're nearly at the end of this video. It's got a plaque here. It just says Golfers Land. On this site stood the tenement known as Golfers Land, built with the proceeds of the stakes from a golf match between Bailey John Patterson and the Duke of York, who later became James VII. Wow. Okay, so we're just coming up into the Parliament building. It's just here. I've just noticed something that I've never noticed before, just through this door. There's a bowling green here. I never knew that. So there you go, I've learned something today. Right, yeah, before we get to Parliament, we're going to go to White Horse Close, which is just here. It's probably one of the more known ones, but there is something here that is less known, which I'll show you. It's very photogenic, which ties in very nicely with what I'm about to do. Just here on the floor, there is a Fiji photo trail plaque. Now there's a few of these around town. I believe it's 17 or so. It used to be a trail. You could pick up a map from the tourist board and follow it around town. I have done the trail. I'll maybe do that again for you guys sometime. But yeah, here we go. A bit of scaffolding at the moment, but a lovely little place. Okay, it's just starting raining. This is typical, as I've just got to the end. But if you can see in the middle of the street here, I'll just zoom in. This circle here, this represents where the Girth Cross was, which marked the end of the Canongate. So yeah, we've only got the Abbey Strand part to do. I'll see if it stops raining before I carry on. Otherwise it's umbrella time. Okay, the rain has eased off for the moment, so here we are at Abbey Strand, the final part of the Royal Mile. There's not much to show you. The palace is obviously there, which we've seen before in a few other videos, but I never showed you this before. In the street here, there are some S's. This marks a boundary line, a sanctuary, essentially. So back in the day, debtors would issue people, and they would end up being jailed or worse, executed for their debts. However, you could take sanctuary in the abbey, which is behind the palace, now just a ruin. Yeah, so you had a 5-mile circumference area that started from here. It did include Holyrood Park and Arthur's Seat over that way. So it's quite a good space you could hide out in, and the church would provide you shelter and food, and you would earn your keep in numerous ways. Yeah, but the S stands for sanctuary. So there you go. Right, there's nothing else I can really tell you. We've reached the end of these 3 videos. I hope they're of interest. I hope I've done them justice as well. A bit ad hoc, some of it, but yeah, there we go. The Royal Mile finished. And remember, it doesn't exist. There's no such place as the Royal Mile. Right, okay, bye.